The 2012 NCAA tournament final comes down to Kansas and Kentucky, and we'll just go over the basics of this game if you don't already know what they are. Kentucky, of course, has supreme NBA caliber talent. They've got the likely top pick in next year's draft, and also amazingly have a total of 6 players on the roster who are projected to be in the NBA. Kansas has lesser talent overall, but does still have some future NBA players, and they also have experience, chemistry, and they play with great defensive intensity. Kentucky is a favorite of 6 or 6.5 points, and that line hasn't moved much since opening, but the total, which is currently between 137 and 138, has moved a bit. It opened a few points higher than that, and it was early sharp action that bet the number down. Both Kansas and Kentucky are only 3-2 against the spread in their tournament games, so neither has gotten to the final by significantly outperforming their expectations. Kentucky's gone over in 4 of their tournament games, while Kansas has gone under in 4 of theirs. So it does seem to be a bit of a clash there. But Kentucky's one under came in their last game against Louisville, the one team they've faced so far that has a defensive bent as well as the talent to have a say in the pace, which is the same thing that they're going to face against Kansas. And Kentucky is also a great defensive team in their own right. So with a total still in the upper 130s, the under may still have a bit of value. Although, as always, late fouling with a spread around 6 is always a very real concern. Kentucky and Kansas did already meet once this year. That game went to 140. The first half went way under, and the second half went way over. So keep that in mind if you're going to be betting a total in this game. As for myself, I'll probably personally bet a little on the first half and full game unders, and if the first half goes way over, I'll probably put a decent-sized bet on the second half under. As far as the matchup is concerned, Kansas will have the size to match up with Kentucky, if not necessarily quite the talent. And Kansas also does have a shot at out-rebounding Kentucky. Louisville got a ton of offensive rebounds against Kentucky, and Kansas may be even more capable of doing that, and if they can, that'll play a huge role in keeping the game close. Kansas should also have the edge at point guard, which could also be a key. Tyshawn Taylor is playing very well, and he should have an easier time offensively against Kentucky's defender than he did against Ohio State's Aaron Craft. So looking at all of that, if Kansas can continue to play great defense, rebound well, and have the edge at the point, they could take the game down to the wire and pull it out. On the other hand, teams with Kentucky's length have given Kansas pretty big trouble this year. Kansas lost to Baylor in the Big 12 tournament, and their star Thomas Robinson struggled. Kentucky, of course, is very similar to Baylor in terms of style, only they do it much, much better. And Kansas probably won't be able to easily switch to hitting threes if that happens. Tyshawn Taylor still hasn't hit a three-pointer all tournament long. And furthermore, Kansas struggled but was able to come back against both Purdue and Ohio State, 2 teams that bring a lot less to the table than Kentucky. But if Kentucky gets out to a big early lead, it's probably going to be over before it's over for Kansas. So that's it. That's the basic deal with this game. We'll see how it turns out. It is a rematch of Bill Self against John Calipari from 2008, when Self that year also had a less talented team that pulled off the upset. This year, Calipari is looking for revenge, and based on the opening lines and the betting patterns, the market seems to have priced this one pretty correctly, giving Kentucky about a 75% chance to win it all. For SBR Foreign Videos, I'm Peter Loshak.